Bhekifa side is Sipho Mgidi, and then me is Bhekifa Makhubela. Gentlemen, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Sipho.
I really hope you're good because we have a very interesting topic here that I want us to tackle. So I really can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
So the topic is about, there's this saying which old people say we are a lost generation, especially everyone that was born after 94, the born free, they're regarded as the lost generation. So what do you have to say about that? Because they're saying like you have no direction.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Joshua. I think we have to ask ourselves many questions before we attack the concept of a lost generation.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about a lost generation, we're talking about a certain stage. Like we were somewhere, then we find ourselves somewhere.
Yeah.
Then we can describe ourselves as lost generation.
Okay.
Because we were somewhere, then we found ourselves somewhere, then we were lost by then.
Maybe, don't you think there's a difference maybe between the generation before 94 and the generation after 94?
There is a big
difference.
So when you're looking at those two generations, do you think this generation has moved, has diverged from what was there and what is now?
Look, you know what? Look at these eras, pre-94 and post-94.
Yeah.
Pre-94, in South Africa, we were under this apartheid era, which our movement was restricted, our thoughts were restricted, and now we are in the post-apartheid era where you're free to express your views as a person.
Oh.
So the difference in those two eras, there's a lot of difference.
Okay, I understand you. But this thing of saying we are programmed to social media. You know, we no longer have a social life. You know, we want to take what's in social media and then apply it to our real life. You know, sometimes some people just go out, just bath and then dress well, just to take pictures and just act like their life is a happy life. But whereas when we really check their real life,
sure,
there's nothing like that.
You know
what do you have to say about that?
You know what, Joshua?
Yeah.
There is a reason for everything.
Yeah.
There is a reason for social media.
Yeah.
And the reason for social media is to waste our time. And then when we waste our time, we waste our time not on serious issues, but on those pictures and captions.
Yeah, so don't you think that's why the older generation say we are lost, because we are now focusing on those things that are wasting our time?
Well, okay, look, we can't ignore the advancement made by the technology over the years.
Yes.
Technology it has been there, it's advancing, and therefore this is our way of adapting to this new technology. Even though it might socially it might not be good for us, but if you look at other aspects like economically wise, financially wise, intellectually wise, it's somehow good for us. It has improved us. And if you look at the generation before technology became what it is today.
Okay, I'm fully from what is like, but there is this thing about culture. Okay, so like they say we've lost our roots. We take culture as irrelevant.
Yes.
What do you have to say about that?
No,
is it relevant though,
Josh?
In this day and age?
No, let us start here. Let us start here, Josh.
Yeah.
I want to agree with you.
Yeah.
We are a lost generation.
Okay.
Because at first I said
so. The if agrees.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying to you, we are a lost generation.
Yeah.
Why? Because we find ourselves in a position where we were never like directed to. So we are in a position where we said we agree everything that is being said to us.
Okay.
We are not questioning everything.
Okay.
We need the youth or that generation that will question everything.
Like the 1976
youth that will question everything. Yeah. That will say to you, why are you doing this? Why this is that? Why this is happening in this way and that way? We want to agree, or we want to argue those. We want to open arguments about those things. So my last point, Josh.
Okay.
The culture. You know, each and everything has its own culture.
Yeah.
So even religion or whatever has its own culture. So we cannot separate culture and religion, or culture with any kind of association. So culture will always be with us and will always apply our culture in any dimension.
So what you have to say is
let me come to the first point.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
that the youth of post-colonial youth,
Yeah.
which he doesn't have that drive to somehow change things.
Yeah.
Counterpoint, fees must follow movement.
Yeah.
Like it's those guys or the people who started those marches,
Yeah.
and they paved the way for free education in South
Yes.
Africa.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If you know the system,
okay.
if you know the system is not perfect, because it's going to take some time for it to be developed and to be perfect. But we have made progress on that, on education. Okay, counterpoint, culture. You said culture is almost involved in almost everything. Let me talk about, let me focus on culture as it focuses on cultural customs, those traditional customs.
All right.
What have they done for us? Because most of the time we find out that these things, they imprison our minds into these cages.
Yeah.
They just imprison our minds. They condition us to think that some certain things are this way, even though they're not. How many superstitions do you know? African superstitions.
Okay, so don't you think like we as Africans, those things like religion, you think like they're no longer relevant to us?
Look, I'm not saying they're not relevant, but they are not a need. We don't need them to advance as a civilization.
Okay, are we given that space? Or are those traditional customs, are they given that space to practice whatever they can practice to contribute in the economic space or in the society?
Look, you see, again, that points my to the point of me saying that they are not relevant.
Are they given that space? Relevance comes when you are given that space and you cannot practice that kind of whatever that you want to practice.
Yes.
We live in an opportunistic world.
Okay,
An opportunistic world where there's an opportunity for doing everything.
Okay, yeah, but understand, you have your own view and your own view. That's why it's your thought. So, we cannot say you are wrong and he's wrong or I'm wrong. But what I can say is I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to check what you have to say about this. So all the next point is, they say we are more focused on entertainment, fashion, and also being in relationship, like focusing on important things that actually can build us and build our country for like a sustainable future. So do you think what we do today is this generation is going to be sustainable for the next generation?
Yeah, it's very difficult to be sustained. Yes, the world is moving into the fourth industrial revolution, where platforms become social media, big platforms becomes like those electronic platforms, because we're moving into the fourth industrial revolution. But to sustain that world, it's going to be very difficult, because I think the reality of that world is to just collapse us. So it will be very difficult to sustain that space, because that space is meant to collapse us.
So we will never lead this country to triumph. We'll never be able to lead this country to greater heights. That's what you're saying.
Using these platforms that we are given now, because these platforms are tested in such a way that these platforms will destroy us.
So what do you have to say about that? Since you
Social media.
Yeah.
Social media, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Entertainment,
social, but like talking about entertainment in a socialistic kind of way.
Okay. Yeah.
Social media,
Yeah.
Okay. Look, it's. I said I told you about the importance of technology. It has to advance in order for the civilization a civilization to advance, right?
Yeah.
And therefore, the introduction of technology has made it easier to do things. Look, we are saying the online world will collapse us, but I personally have a friend who has a business online, who gets clients online, and like there are 1,000 number of businesses online, right? Who are contributing to the economy of South Africa. We have platforms like Take a Lot, where you can just order something, then get it delivered to you. Convenience. So that we are moving into a more convenient society. Instead of straining, working hard, we can work smarter. That, for me, that's sustainable.
So
Maybe it's the moral, the social aspect of that might have dire consequences in a way, but we are moving as a society when it comes to developing the country economically, which for me is important.
So you see it as a relevant to like live our life.
It's a relevant tool to assist us to go to greater height.
Okay, so let's go to like politics. So how are we gonna since they're saying we are a lost generation, do you think we'll be able to take over the political parts, like the political, especially in the South African context? Do you think we'll be able to like take over politics?
Well, okay. We can, you know what? We can be able to do it. But now that transference of power between those old leaders to the youth is not going to happen anytime soon. I don't know whether it's whether they don't trust the youth, but which we are almost the backbone of the country, because if you can check the majority of the population in South Africa, it's the youth.
So
but yet
you're saying
they are not represented.
So what you're saying is
parliament.
What you're saying is that the previous generation is not that we are a lost generation, but they don't trust us.
Yeah, because it's somehow, according to them, we lack experience to become leaders.
How do you have to make up that one? Because you're saying we are a lost generation, and apparently that all the generation doesn't trust us. So
I think,
how do you have to say
I think when I judge what happened is these past let me say these past politicians move this generation we are into that space. That space is so protected in such a way that it's not it doesn't gain access to these politics. You understand? And they give us something to play with.
But
They give us social media.
Youth leagues.
We have youth leagues,
which do not make any difference in parliament. Is there?
Yes, I'm saying they just controlled us and they give us social media. They say play with social media. We're busy with politics. Play with social media. We're busy with politics now. So they created this gap between politics and youth. They gave youth the social media. Youth, the youth of these days are making noise. Power tweet are making noise, but they cannot do something because those people who are making noise are just introvert in nature.
Okay, so what you're saying is they don't trust us. That's why we are not a lost generation. They just don't trust us.
Yeah,
we are just not even. They created a game and we are a lost generation.
Yeah,
we are just
okay.
An opportunity. You know what? Let me just implore you to go to the internet and go search for Somela. Somela Mutwas. Made a speech. You will hear how young people have a vision for the country, but they are not given the platform.
Okay, I think it's two great minds with two different doors. So I don't know which one you're gonna take it home. So okay, Bhekifa, thank you for coming. Okay, thank you for watching. Till next time.
Hello guys, thank you so much for watching Your Thoughts. Please do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and if you enjoyed today's episode, please click the like button. A new episode is to be uploaded every Monday. Stay tuned. Goodbye.